All right, so we're going to be drafting teams of five fighters. Whoever we think is going to have the most wins in 2022, and whichever team has the most wins at the end of the year, then they're the winner.
All right. First pick.
I have the first pick, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Um. Now I know I said earlier that I was going to take a lot of weird people, like that you guys probably wouldn't pick, just people that who aren't going to fight as much as you would think.
Mhm.
But with this one pick, I gotta stray from the norm. I gotta take the modern cowboy, Kevin Holland.
Damn it,
Um.
Really? I didn't even have
dude.
him.
That was high on my list. I wanted Kevin Holland for sure.
I
So
didn't.
the thing is, I was looking, and he had three fights last year, two losses and no contest. But like those were against Vittori and Brunson, who wrestle fucked him. He's coming back. He's fighting in March against Alex Oliveira, I think, in his welterweight debut, and he's probably not going to jump too deep into the competition either at welterweight. So I see him fighting three, maybe four times this year and winning at least two of them.
I think that's a good pick when you explain it like that because I didn't have him on my list because I just didn't think he'd be the most winningest fighter this year.
I think he
Uh,
definitely takes a step back in competition. Like you see, his first fight at welterweight is Cowboy Oliveira. Like that's a very winnable fight.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah. He's
good.
moving. He's moving to a new division, so they'll probably give
He
him
takes it
like
slow.
the bottom
Like,
feeders of that division first. Uh,
exactly. Take out some of the bottom feeders, and he does that quickly.
yeah, I like that pick a lot.
Yeah. Um, so my pick is probably gonna be a surprise and not a surprise at the same time. Um, when deciding criteria, decided on people who were really good, but were like really low ranked wise. So they'd just be getting decent fights.
Mm.
So I have Erin Blanchfield as my first pick because she fought
Okay.
two times last year and she debuted in September. And I think she's just way better than a lot of women in her weight class. So I'm guessing that she'll just pick up some two, three, maybe even four easy wins. Um, because she's not going to be thrown into the Shark Tank anytime soon. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a great pick. She's also very high on my list. Um,
Well,
yeah,
you
I mean,
got
I
this
don't
one.
see a lot of women in that division beating her. With that ground game, really good wrestling. She's still unranked, so there's that's the
The,
idea, right? You kind of want
the,
someone who's unranked, and they're just gonna give like a lot of matchups that they really should win.
yeah, exactly. That's the primary reason. If she was ranked like maybe 10 or like 8 or 7, probably not. But like she's like not ranked and she beat Miranda Maverick pretty heavily. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So with the third pick, oh, by the way, Lawrence, are
Mm.
you recording this or recording the
Mhm.
video? Okay.
Yeah.
So with the third pick, I'm actually picking a woman in the same weight class as
Oh
Aaron
no.
Blanchfield. I'm picking Casey O'Neill. Uh, she's a very solid prospect. I think she's 24 years old. She fought three times in 2021, 3-0 in the UFC. Um, and yeah, I think she's just really good. She fights nasty. She has like a really high pace, and she actually finishes her fights, which you can't really say for a lot of women fighters. So I think she's really good. I think her and Aaron Blanchfield are two very solid prospects for that division.
Yeah,
So
she was actually going to be one of my next picks too, because like I have a lot of faith in her because I think she had 3 wins this year too.
yeah, she
Really
had three
good.
wins in 2021.
Yeah. My worry maybe this is that maybe Blanchfield and Casey O'Neill might be put against each other just because the UFC likes to do that with prospects. So at the very least, you've relieved me of at least a little bit of stress, Josh.
Yeah.
So
Well, if they do that this early, they're retarded
I
because
mean, they've
you
done
should
stuff
really
like
build them
that.
up. Yeah, I know that's just dumb. But they
Mhm.
they should let it. I mean, they should let them clean up the other women, and then when they're ranked or like close to the top, that's when you put them together. But
Mhm.
all right,
Exactly.
with my fourth pick, I'm gonna pick Phil Hawes,
Bill Hawes.
middleweight.
Okay,
So
okay.
last fight, obviously he lost to the Action Man, but if you look at that fight, Phil Hawes was winning pretty much up till like 10 seconds before he got knocked out. And he got
Hmm.
knocked out by this really weird, like it didn't even hit clean, and it somehow wobbled him, and then the Action Man finished it. But I think Phil Hawes is really good. Um, he beat Imavov, which I'm really high on, who is currently ranked right now, and he beat Kyle Dawkins, which is also a pretty solid win in the middleweight division. So he fought 3 times last year, 3 times in 2021. So I think he'll be pretty active. I think he's scheduled to fight Sam Alvey in February.
Oh,
so,
that's a give me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Nice.
that's a win. That's a win. And then I could see him fighting 2 more times the rest of the year, and that's 3 wins. So
Yeah, and he's unranked too, so that's even better. He was like beating Chris Curtis pretty badly until he wasn't. So
yeah. So
okay, that's a really good pick. I like it. This is probably a little bit unexpected. I want Manel Cape. I have Manel Cape on this primarily because I think he is genuinely like top 5 in that division, even top 3. But some mental thing has happened. He's low enough in the division that I could still see him like tearing through it. And flyweights fight a lot. I was looking at those divisions. I was like, dang, 3 victories? Or not 3 victories, but 3 fights in a year? So I could see
he
him
fought 4 times in a year. He lost to Pantoja, he lost to Nicolau, which he shouldn't have lost to, and then he beat Osborne and he beat Zuma Gulov.
Yeah, so like flyweights fight so often that I'm like, I have to, and I think he beats most of the people in that division. So Manel
I like
Cape
that pick a lot. I didn't even
pick.
consider Manel Cape. I like that pick a lot.
Yeah, because he's probably one of the highest ranked people I chose, just because like he's just so good. But he's just also he doesn't have shoes on, so he's not as good as he once was. All right, Dermot.
All right, Dermot, you have the next 2 picks.
All right. Well, with the 6th one, I'm gonna. This is tough for me because he hasn't had like he's not super active lately, but I think this will be the year that changed. And I'm gonna take Armin Saryukin.
Armin Saryukin is an interesting pick.
Because I mean he only fought twice last year and once in 2020, but I think kind of like 2021 was Islam's coming out party where he fought 3 times and kind of sunned people. I think that will be like what Armin does. I think he beats Alvarez. I think he beats another kind of decent person in the middle of the year, and I think he finishes the year off with a win over like a top 10 guy and shoves his way in there.
Possible. I think the Alvarez fight is kind of dangerous though. Like Alvarez is
dangerous. The thing that I'm more concerned about Alvarez is him fucking missing weight or something, or some crazy shit like that happening. I think Armin can probably wrestle fuck him if he tries.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, you gotta favor the fighters that are fighting early, because that just increases the chances that they'll fight.
And I just think he's like 25, like he's coming into like his prime as a fighter, like he's gonna wanna, take the opportunities he's given.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know if he fights 3 times here. I think that's your biggest risk. I think he could fight definitely 2 times for sure.
That's the thing. He might only fight twice, but I do think like he's not going to be thrown into the Shark Tank deep enough that like I think he should win both those fights.
Yeah, I like it. Solid pick.
Who do you think beats him, if anybody?
Armin?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he's not like fully developed. I mean, Islam again, if they fought, would be an interesting fight. I don't know. Oliveira, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how good he is. Like he's only fought people who aren't that. Like I want to see him fight against like better people to like really make that assessment.
That's fair.
Because I really have no idea how he fares against Oliveira. Because Oliveira's fights has been fucking fighting killers his last 2 or 3 fights, and Armin's fighting like people who just aren't that good.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to choose him. Okay.
Right, one more pick.
Go for it, Alex.
All right, one more pick. Man, I'm torn. I have a few people in mind, although I feel like one of them is in neither one of your guys' mind, so I'm going to leave that to pick number 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go with Chris Curtis.
Chris Curtis, okay.
Action man, baby. I don't know if that's a good pick or a bad pick, but I do think that like being finally in the UFC, like he took 2 fights at the end of last year. I think he'll take a little time to enjoy it, then probably take 3 or 4 more fights this year. He mentioned he needed money in one of his interviews with Joe Rogan. He's like, I need that money and shit. Like he said something about like that UFC money finally coming in. So I'm sure he's gonna want to get some more of it.
I think that's a good pick. My only worry about him is that since he beat Phil Hawes, who's a really good prospect, I feel like they might try to shoot him up even higher in the division sooner
That's
than
the thing,
later.
though.
ranked,
Because
right?
I think even if he fucking loses one of his fights, then they'll realize, okay, maybe he shouldn't be so high up, and they'll give him a couple people he can beat again.
Actually, never mind. I thought he was ranked, but he's not.
No, he's
I
not.
mean,
He's like if you look at the global rankings, he's like I think 17 or 18 or 19. But I still
yeah,
think
he's close.
I think he's gonna get favorable matchups, and even then, I think like middleweight's not the best division in the world. So
Well, they could also just be disrespecting him and continue to give him prospects too, because like
that's what I'm saying. He could. I mean, yeah, they could just they could, or he could just be that fun guy on the undercard, that just fights the whatever fights.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, I guess I'm not surprised Chris Curtis is this low, but how can you have this without him?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess it's my pick then.
Yep.
So, this one again, when I looked at my divisions, I had to look at the most active divisions, and they were the lower weight classes and the women weight classes. Like most women have fought like 2 to 3 times in a year. And so I chose Manon Fiorot, Manon Fiorot, Fiorot. Man,
Yep. I
okay.
was considering her too.
Yeah, I think the main reason why is, of course, she's a prospect, but I don't think her division's that dangerous, to be honest. Like Jessica I, JoJo Calderwood, Lauren Murphy, Caitlin Chuhagan, maybe Maya could post submission threats, but unless she fights Talia Santos and Jessica Andrade, I don't think she gets like any real challenge to her. I think she'll win pretty decisively until she reaches the upper echelon in the division, and even then, she's really good individually. She's also ranked a little bit higher, but 14, but that's not bad.
Is she ranked? I don't even.
She's ranked 14. That's why I was unsure picking her. But like I looked at her division, I'm like, no, she should outclass or not outclass, but beat enough people to get the wins on the board.
Well, she should destroy Jessica I if she's any
Yeah,
good.
exactly. So destroy Jessica I, maybe fight JoJo Calderwood or fight like a Andrea Lee or Calvia or whoever.
Yeah. She's solid. She also has power for a
That's
woman.
another thing. She like knocks people out, which not a lot of people do. I
Yeah.
almost considered her Amanda Lemos, but like
Mm.
I was like, okay, let's go with Fiorot. I think she's a little bit more on the upside.
I like it. Yeah, she fought 3 times in 2021.
Mhm.
Won all 3. It's pretty good. She's 31 though, which is it's kind of old for a contender or like up and rising contender. But
Well,
I
I
think
think
she's like
she's in
a
the prime.
kickboxer or something. Like she has a kickboxing background.
So she has a lot of credentials in her life is partly why it shows her. I think she has like a kickboxing. She's been let me check. She's a black belt in karate as well, Thai boxing championship, amateur Muay Thai undefeated record, holds 3 national championships in K1. So like she has a lot going for her.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm up with the 9th pick. Again, I agree with Lorenzo's assessment that I think the lower weight classes are generally more active, and I think some of the women are really active. So with my 9th pick, I'm gonna pick Lupe Godinez.
Of course, God bless.
So obviously we know that she broke the record for like the shortest time in between bouts in the modern era. I think she fought like 7 days after her last fight.
yeah,
So literally like the next card. So she's game as fuck, clearly. She wins some and loses some, but the one she lost, it was up a division, and
Yeah.
the chick was really big.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
yeah, she's supposed to be in strawweight. I was impressed by her wrestling in her last fight against Lubunmi. I was impressed by her wrestling. So
I agree.
yeah, no, I think she'll crush a lot of girls in that division. And she's still unranked, I think. So those give her pretty favorable matchups.
Yeah,
I imagine.
really great pick. I was considering her too, but I think you're spot on. She's game. She can wrestle pretty well, and so that's all you really need. She's in the women's division, so that's a really good pick.
All right. With my next pick, I'm looking at my list, and either I go for someone with a ton of upside, or I just go for someone who I know will win.
Mhm.
All right, I'm trying to think. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna go with Islam Makhachev with my 10th pick.
Yeah,
So
that's good.
he's scheduled to fight Beneil like February or March. I don't remember. I think that's pretty close to a guaranteed win. I won't say
That's a win.
guaranteed. I think Beneil can pose a threat, but he'll be heavily favored. I think he's clearly the best guy in that division. I'm sure he'll get his title shot sometime later this year, so he'll probably fight twice this year. If I'm lucky, he'll fight 3 times, but he'll be probably heavily favored in all 2 or 3 fights. I would pick him to win any fight in that division. So yeah, I think his upside is just how many times he fights, because I think he wins every time he fights, personally.
Yeah, I think again a great pick. Islam is pretty much 2 guaranteed wins or close to it. Maybe 3, depending on how the division plays itself out. Because one reason I didn't choose him, and this is going to sound weird, but Conor McGregor, I could see Charles waiting a long time just to like fight Conor. And then I feel Islam will just wait after he fights Beneil. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only reason I didn't choose Islam.
I don't
He's
really see Conor McGregor being part of the picture. Like, first of all, he needs to come back and get a win, which is not a given. And then
It is if he's smart.
Yeah, but we don't even know when he's coming back either. Like, it could be like
It's not
it could
until
be
summer, probably. Yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
summer. So.
We'll see.
nice. Okay. This is probably gonna be this is like a little tough. I have quite a few fighters on here. I'm actually gonna be betting on a prospect here. I forget whether I saw him on the Weasel or MMA on Points, but Muhammad Mokhev.
Literally
MU,
never heard of that person
yeah.
in my life.
Muhammad
Wait.
space. Oh, did you say wait?
No, go ahead.
Mokhaev. I'll drop him in the Discord. But
No, I see him.
okay. He's a 21-year-old. So he's younger than us. Huge prospect. He has insane striking and grappling, and the UFC picked him up when he was this young, and he's showing the skill that he needs to. He's fighting against Cody Durden, who's a good challenge for him. But seeing that since he's so young, he fought already like 2 times in 20 or 3 times in 2021. I could see him just being really hungry and wanting to go just straight at it in that division there. So that's primarily why I'm choosing him. Maybe I watch too much YouTube, but
That's an interesting pick. What division is he?
he is in the bantamweight division, so that's a smaller weight class too. So I imagine that he is going to, again, just go fight as much as possible, just to prove himself that. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe he beats Jan. I mean, actually, I'm sorry. I mean Sterling. After Sterling beats Jan. So
that's an interesting pick. I mean, yeah, if the hype is real, he could win a lot. But if it's not real, he could win like 1 or 2.
if you're on ShareDog, just look at his amateur record too. It's pretty insane. So like he is proven enough to me, but yeah, that's who I chose. All right, Dermer, you're
He has
2.
a lot of fights. Yeah.
All right, 2 picks.
All right, Jeremy, you have the next 2.
All right, 12 and 13. Shit. Okay. I mean, I was thinking the same way you were, Josh. I was like, who is gonna fight twice and win both of the fights they do have? And to me, one of those people is Piotr Jan.
Yep, that
I
makes
don't know
sense.
if he fights twice because
He almost always fights twice a year. His first fight is scheduled for March, so I think it's obvious he fights Dillashaw, or maybe rematches Aldo or somebody else after then.
I
Well, I
thought they
think they
postponed
pushed
his
it back
fight.
to April.
Yeah, because he doesn't have the vaccine, so.
Oh, either way, like he's gonna fight in April. He'll get another fight in before the end of the year, probably like October, November. I think he's easily the best guy in that division.
Mhm.
And I think he beats every. I think this is like the same thing that Josh said about Islam. Like everyone that he fight, as long as he fights, he will win.
Yes.
Yep. That's my logic.
So I see him getting 2 fights a year this year for sure. Maybe if he just destroys Sterling, he'll fight again real soon. And I mean, I think Piotr Jan is pretty close to a lock for 2 wins in 2021. I don't see anyone at 135 fucking with him.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I don't know if he really, again, loses this year unless Aldo beats him or something, or Mokhev is going to run up the division. You know?
Allegedly.
Well,
The dude's 21 years old. Let's see what happens.
how old was John Jones when he won his first title? 23.
23. Yeah, but he's literally like the most talented fighter ever. So
until Muhammad Mokhev and Kashmad and Islam, right?
Yeah.
All right, Dermer, you get another pick. So.
All right, I am, and in the same exact realm, I am going for 2 more lock wins. I'm going with Valentina.
Oh my God. Okay.
Good pick. Good pick.
I told you guys.
I was not even considering that.
I told you guys that that's the last one I have because I guarantee you guys would overlook her because I know no one was thinking about champions, but like if she is gonna win 2. Like she fights twice every single year for the last 4 years. She's fought twice and no one's beating her.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm surprised you didn't pick Usman. Are you just where he doesn't fight? Oh wait, you got Kazmat hype train, right?
No, not even
also,
that.
I mean,
The thing about
he's not that
Usman
active.
No, Usman he was super active last year, right? But now look, he doesn't have a fight scheduled. All the next
Yeah.
pay-per-views for the next like 4 months are booked up. He's probably gonna fight Leon in like the summer, like May, probably like May. Like I don't think he gets 2 more fights in from May to December.
Yeah.
So like he might only after last year, he might only fight once. Some shit might happen. He says he's getting older, maybe like, and plus Hamzat is like it's just that division's kind of a shit show now because he's kind of beat everybody that matters, but then Hamzat's lurking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's kind of like once he's done with Leon, it's kind of like you kind of look at the division as like who's left. I guess.
Maybe Luque, maybe Luque.
I guess Luque, yeah.
Maybe Luque.
We
But
can
like,
never see
but I think if he fights Hamzat, does he beat Hamzat? Like, I think he beats Luque, but like, does he beat Hamzat? And does he even fight twice? Like, I'm pretty sure Valentina will fight like in the spring, and then she'll fight in the winter, and she'll just beat the shit out of 2 people. So
Yeah.
Respectable choice. Okay. I guess we'll reveal who else we had on our roster at the very end, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because I was gonna go through who I didn't pick and why. This is gonna fly in the complete opposite direction of what I was saying before, but where like the lighter weight classes are ones that you fight the most and recover the most.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go with Derrick Lewis.
Oh.
He's fairly active. He will fight for the bag. He has taken fights in short notice before, like a month, 2 months there. He'll be guaranteed to fight every time in Houston, which they're going to constantly due to the pandemic. And when I look at his division, I'm like, okay, who does he beat? I don't see anybody under rank 7 beating him, to be honest. And he's fighting right now. Who is he fighting? Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah, he's gonna knock him out.
He's gonna knock him out.
Yeah.
Tom Aspinall won't win. Marcin Tybura won't win. Shamil Abdurakhimov probably won't win. Stipe might just wait out for another title shot like he always does, to be honest.
well, why? If you're Stipe, fighting Lewis is just a bad idea,
I think Stipe beats Lewis. Actually, I think Stipe beats Lewis.
Yeah, I think he does too. But like, why would you take that chance? Like, you could just wait around for a title shot because you're like an all-time great. Like, why would you fight like why would you just casually like, oh yeah, I'll fight Derrick Lewis? Like,
Yeah.
So
but I mean, you could like stay in the favor of Dana White. Like Dana White hates motherfuckers that just stay out too, which Stipe is doing. So
yeah, Stipe's a fireman and shit. He got like life going on. He's not too worried.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't see again unless like he fights Ngannou or Cyril Gane again somehow.
Also, like Derrick Lewis, I feel like after what Gon did to him, like the period of time of Derrick Lewis at the top level is over with for a little while. I think he spent some time just beating up a couple nobodies, so I like that pick.
Yeah, so I could see him fighting like at least 2 to maybe even potentially 4 times this year because I mean
definitely.
he likes money.
And this is
I mean,
turnaround.
if he dusts Tuivasa in the first round, I mean, he could just turn around real quick.
Yeah. So that's why I chose Derrick Lewis as my, I guess, wild card last pick.
Yeah,
That's a
bit
good
of a
one.
wild card. That's a bit of a wild card. All right. I guess my last pick's gonna be a wild card as well. I'm gonna pick Ian Gary.
Ooh, Michael Chandler's boy.
Okay.
Welterweight prospect. His last I wasn't super impressed by his debut. I know he was like super hyped up at the beginning because he's Irish, which basically I feel like that's basically the whole hype is like the next Conor McGregor question mark. I wasn't overly impressed, but I mean he did knock the dude out pretty viciously. So I mean he's young. I think he's like 20 something.
Check. He's
25.
24.
24. Yeah, he's 24. Super active. I think he fought 3 times last year, so I could see him fighting 3 more times this year to clean up some of the guys in the lower parts of the welterweight division before he rises up. Yeah, I think he has upside. I don't know how to evaluate him as a prospect yet until I see more, but I mean they'll give him some easy matchups.
Did Michael Chandler influence you at all?
Oh yeah, like how Michael Chandler's like he's gonna be the future champion. No, I mean I feel like everybody fucking hypes up their guys at this point. Like, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, because
what did Michael Chandler say? Like he said that
future champ,
future
that type
champ.
of stuff. Yeah.
Do they train together?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think they train at Stanford MMA.
Yeah, and of course they said that. Yeah.
I think that's a really good pick because I looked at Jordan Williams is not a good I mean it's unfortunate to say, but he's just not good.
Yeah.
And if he fights somebody that lowly ranked, then that means he's probably gonna get a few more ranked people. And then like that's probably easy wins if he fights 3 times this year. Nice,
yeah, I mean they should slow play him because again he didn't look amazing that first fight. Apart from like the knockout, which was amazing, but like Ian Gary or Jordan Williams was winning the fight up until that point. So we'll see.
All right.
Also, his girlfriend's a MILF.
Okay, I guess I got to Google Ian Gary girlfriend in just a little bit.
That's a tip for you guys. But yeah, all right. Let's summarize these teams.
Wait, before you go, the second for search result for Ian Gary girlfriend is age.
She's like in her late 30s.
She's
like 24.
Yeah, I guess let's not get too deep into this, but that's pretty funny. But yeah, she's good looking.
All right, so Team Alex is Kevin Holland, Armin Tsarukyan, Chris Curtis, Peter Yan, and Valentina Shevchenko. All right, so obviously Alex is going for the low variance, but high percentage win.
Right, so he's guaranteed. Let's say, let me look at his roster again. At least everybody has at least 2 points, right? Except Kevin Holland, maybe.
I mean, yeah, but Kevin Holland's pretty high percentage. I feel like.
Yeah, so he's got at least.
Jan and Valentina are
guaranteed.
Chris Curtis is my wild card pick, but like Jan, Valentina, and then Armin are pretty much like I think 2 pretty solid wins this year.
6 points ideally.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so Team Josh, Casey O'Neill, who I feel like she's a prospect, obviously, but I feel like her wins are pretty guaranteed, to be honest. Not a lot of women are good in that division. Phil Hawes, prospect. Luby Godinez, prospect
and active, yeah.
Islam,
goat,
guaranteed win whenever he fights. So the only question is how often he fights, and then Ian Gary.
Nice.
Wild card. Total wild card.
Love it.
And then Team Lorenzo is Aaron Blanchfield.
Prospect.
Manel Cape.
Interesting guy, ranked easy.
Interesting guy. Yeah. Potentially the best guy in the division. Who knows?
Yeah. Roy, good prospect.
Fiorot, yeah, good prospect.
Not dangerous division. Point fighters mostly, so.
Mokhev, total unknown.
That's probably the most wild card. Yeah.
Yeah, and Derrick Lewis.
Derrick Lewis, who like I know that was one that like he's by far the heaviest guy, but when I look at the division, the next heaviest one is Phil Hawes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I
yeah.
went like 2 divisions up above you guys. We didn't show any love for lightweight, did we?
That division's too competitive. I don't know any like who's like an unranked killer in lightweight that's
No, we chose Islam and Arman. I meant light heavyweight.
light heavyweight.
Yeah.
There's no prospects at light heavyweight. I was looking at the roster, like I don't see anybody.
I was
They don't
consider
fight a lot either.
Yeah, they don't fight a lot. Yeah,
I was considering Anthony Smith, the guy who's main evented like 7 pay-per-views in a row or something like that.
the
But
Fight Night legend.
yeah, but
Not
he's
8 fight nights, just 8 of like main events.
yeah, he's
5 years.
he's in like the top 5, so I imagine he's gonna wait now or something, so that way he can actually get a title shot or something. So I didn't
Yeah.
choose him.
He's also like, I mean, he's like win some, lose some. Like who knows? I mean, he's right up there at the top. So like, he's not guaranteed to win any of his fights.
Yeah, so I didn't end up choosing him for those type of reasons. Um, did you have anybody who you didn't choose, Dermer, that you really wanted to?
I don't really think so. I think I kind of got who I want. Islam was on my radar.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about grabbing him up at the end. But I kind of got what I wanted to. I like Kevin Holland just because he does fight like 3 to 5 times a year, and he's probably gonna take it easy at welterweight, and then everybody else I feel like is like 2 pretty easy wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was actually considering 2 heavyweights. I was considering Alexander Romanov.
Oh, I was too.
I
Yeah,
was thinking about him, but he really doesn't fight that much.
he fights like twice a year. So which like there's just other guys who are better who fight twice a year. But I mean, like a heavyweight who wrestles like he does, I don't think he loses very many fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was also considering Tom Aspinall.
Yeah, good pick. He doesn't want to even fight the Shark Tank that is the top.
Exactly. Like he literally like doesn't want to fight people ranked above him, which is like perfect for this competition.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was thinking about Sean O'Malley for the same respect.
3 wins in a year. I was thinking that too. Like, but
Yeah,
I was worried about
Especially
the wrestler.
Sean gets a lot of hate for like because he's kind of retarded, but like he's really good.
No, Sean O'Malley's really smart. Like a lot of fighters need to look at Sean O'Malley and like emulate what he does.
When I say retarded, I mean like acts retarded. Like he's a brilliant marketer, of course.
No, he's brilliant. Like other like
knows
he's like kind of like
the
picture perfect guy you want to like emulate your career over. In my opinion,
Yeah,
like he's taking advantage of his platform while at the same time like not really being relevant as like a UFC fighter. So
I think he has 3 wins in a year. I think the only thing is bantamweight to Shark Tank, but he's smart about his match pick, so that's why I was like, maybe, but I ultimately chose against him.
I shot me too. Just bantamweight is so tough, and I mean, like he's already ranked like fucking 11 or 12 or something. Like if he wins another fight with somebody like 10, he's gonna go up to like fucking 7 or 8, and then he might get like a competitive fight. Like throw him in there with Jose Aldo. I don't know what happens.
But also, I feel like he's really brittle. Like I was looking at this interview. He was interviewed by Michael Bisping, and he has a hand injury now. I don't know if you guys know, but he injured his right hand, and so he's probably out for like a couple months. But he said in the interview he was looking to fight 3 times this year, but I mean he has a hand injury, so who knows? And he also like literally every post fight press conference he has ice on his knuckles. Like I don't think this guy is just really brittle. It seems
he's strong for his own body. Yeah,
like he's always complaining about how his hand hurts from punching people. Like no one else does that. I don't know if this is like a common experience that but people don't talk about it.
I think they don't talk about it because like a boxer's fracture is a real thing. I feel like this is gonna sound weird, but I feel like I punched so hard sometimes that I think, or maybe improperly, that I feel like I got a little something, but not enough to actually worry about it. If that's a thing. I probably had some really weird wild card picks. I had Cub Swanson. Just because he's gonna move down a division is why.
Oh, really?
He
That's
says
I don't know if that's a good thing though. You're moving
that's
to Shark
partly
Tank.
why is that he's moving down in division, but he's also probably going to be given like that legend treatment where he's fighting like very low prospects who I could see him beating. I almost consider Dan Hooker as well, but I looked at his record and he's moving down in Division 2, but I
I was
don't.
thinking Bobby Green.
Bobby Green was another guy I was picking, but he's a little too high ranked for, or not high ranked, but close to it that I was a little uncomfortable picking him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he just beat Aya Quinta, right? So
Yeah, I mean Bobby Green's coming on recently, and he's super active. So,
he is. Didn't he
but
fight like four?
he's kind of. But my reasoning was he's kind of like win some, lose some. You know, like he's
That's
not guaranteed
true.
to win his fights.
That's true. So I think has a lot of upside, but again, it's the light heavyweight or not the lightweight division. So
Yeah.
I already told you I almost considered Amanda Lemos, but maybe Angela Hill is just the queen of split decisions that she loses. But
She
Oh
is.
yeah.
she
She's the
she
queen of robberies. She's the queen of split decision robberies.
yeah. So like I was like, I mean, if we're gonna be real, Angela Hill probably won that fight.
She did.
Well,
She
yeah, it was
did.
really bad in even the media scorecard. So like if Amanda Lemos, not to say that Angela Hill is bad or anything, but if she struggled against her, I don't
Yeah.
know if she fares against the rest of the division. Um, Another weird guy was Mason Jones.
Yeah.
He fought
Uh,
at like 155, went up a division. He's looked pretty good, all things considered, but I don't know with him. This is my go pick, but I nearly picked him instead of Derrick Lewis. Andre Muniz.
oh.
Oh,
I
that's
almost
I like that actually.
I think for one, when I look at the division that he's in, I think he probably maybe I'm hyping him up again too highly. But when you just look at his division, I think he beats most people in front of him. He's also a unique grappler. And if Derek Brunson could get that far based on his grappling and like what's his face? Jacare can make it so far based on his grappling, I could see him beating most people in front of him. Um, whether it's maybe not maybe Brad Tavares. I think he's natural in that, right? That's tradition. But yeah.
Yeah. If you're a contender, you pretty much have to beat Brad Tavares
Like
in that division.
a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his grappling is why I nearly picked him, but I figured Derrick Lewis is a little bit more interesting a pick. He's more active, allegedly.
That's a vibe.
Makes sense. All right. You want to cut this one short?
I don't have anybody else, so
Yeah.
All right. This was the 2022 UFC Wins Draft.
Mhm.